Hi, my name is Dav, and I would like to talk to you today about cocaethylene and preventing suicide. So, this is a trigger warning. If you experience emotional distress during or after the presentation, please contact the Samaritans or other helplines available at the end of this presentation. So, what is cocaethylene? Basically, it's the chemical that is produced when cocaine and alcohol are taken together, and I'll explain more about that soon. Suicide is the biggest killer of men under 35 in the UK, which is about 3 times more than the number of people killed in road accidents. Figures show that men are around 3 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Close to 800,000 people die from suicide worldwide every year, and for every completed suicide, there are many more people who attempt it. Each year in Wales, between 300 and 350 people die from suicide. Over 250 of them were male in 2019. Why do more men take their lives? There is a great deal of research into why there are higher suicide rates for males, and some of the reasons are shown here. The masculine ideal requires that men should never be depressed, anxious, or unable to cope, and if they are, they should never admit it. So the very experience of being distressed or having a mental health problem can be psychologically difficult for men because they're not supposed to be vulnerable in this way. As a result, men may respond to emotional upsets or distress with denial or avoidance. Men are also more likely to use substances to cope than to seek help from friends, family, or formal services. Men and risky behaviour. It's widely accepted that young men engage in taking more risks, which is particularly high in males between 15 and 35 years of age when intersexual competition is at the strongest. During adolescence, there are hormonal changes in the brain that makes teenagers more focused on having positive reinforcement, which they get by being included socially. This makes peer pressure and being accepted more important to them during this time. The areas of the brain that handle impulse control and planning don't completely mature until mid to late 20s, which means they are more prone to make spontaneous and risky decisions. Excessive drinking is seen as an accepted part of masculine behavior and coping, so tend to use alcohol or other substances to escape their troubles. Mixing alcohol and certain drugs together increases dangerous and impulsive behaviors and significantly reduces inhibitions. This is Thomas. He was a happy-go-lucky and popular young man with a great sense of humour and was the life and soul of the party. He had a job, a long-term girlfriend, and looked after himself by going to the gym and even booked a holiday the night before his death. He had no diagnosed mental illness and came from a close and loving family. He had attempted suicide previously after a 3-night binge over a bank holiday in 2017 and was found in time and saved by his family. He agreed to get some help with the support of his family and had managed to stop taking cocaine for 18 months. During the Christmas period in 2018, he had started staying out at night again, and his family noticed and feared he was using cocaine again. They had tried to step in and believed he had stopped again. However, in March 2019, while his family were on holiday, Tom stayed home and went out drinking with the boys over the weekend. Sadly, during the countdown in the following days, Thomas took his own life, and his family came back too late to save him. Cocaine was confirmed present in the coroner's toxicology report. Cocaine use in the UK. Cocaine used to be seen for only the rich and famous, rock stars, etc., but this is definitely not the case now. In the UK particularly, it is much easier to obtain now, which includes dealing via social media and the dark web. Analyses of what wastewater reveals an increase in cocaine residues, indicating that cocaine use had doubled in the last 5 years. Prices have fallen in recent times, making it more affordable. UK is becoming the biggest consumer of cocaine in Europe, and it is the second most popular drug behind cannabis. It is seen as being more socially acceptable amongst teens and partygoers compared to 20 years ago. Celebrities' reputation appears undamaged if they are caught, and many dramas and films have glorified the use of cocaine. Although cocaine does not cause physical addiction as such, the mental dependence is very difficult to break. Discontinuing regular use can lead to a wide variety of very unpleasant withdrawal symptoms, including intense cravings, irritability, apathy, depression, paranoia, suicidal ideation, loss of sex drive, and many more. Taking cocaine alone can cause insomnia, increased body temperature and heart rate, aggression, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, kidney failure, seizure, stroke, heart attack, tooth damage, nasal damage, mental health problems, and ultimately death. Alcohol and cocaine together create a more potent toxin called cocaethylene. As we showed earlier, taking alcohol and cocaine at the same time is much more dangerous than taking them separately. Cocaethylene makes the toxic effects last much longer and can stay in your system for several days after a binge. This is made much worse by the lack of sleep and proper nutrition. Although it can make you feel more alert and sharp on your focus, you may not realize how affected you really are. The National Institute on Drug Abuse in the US says that alcohol and cocaine may be the most common two-drug combination that results in fatalities. Cocaethylene can lead to irreparable damage to the liver and kidneys, causing seizures, stroke, and/or irregular heartbeats, and even heart attacks. So how does this affect women? The statistics of 3 males to 1 female deaths by suicide are consistent worldwide. Women are more hormonally sensitive to the pharmacological effects of alcohol and cocaine, which affects female brains differently than male. Also, cocaine is absorbed and metabolized differently. Women are more likely to talk to someone when emotionally distressed, so appear to struggle more with suicidal thoughts rather than going through with it. Men tend to use more fatal methods to try to end their life, whereas women are more likely to engage in non-fatal suicidal methods that require hospital admission. Cocaethylene links to suicide. Cocaethylene increases both dopamine and serotonin levels in the brain, which means that individuals will engage in more impulsive and risky behaviors, including potentially violence. Studies show that the presence of cocaethylene may actually result in increased alcohol consumption. So people who use cocaine and alcohol together often binge drink. Chronic binge drinking is associated with a number of issues, including liver damage, cardiovascular issues, nerve damage, alcohol poisoning, poor judgment, and a quicker development of severe alcohol dependence. The come down is much more intense than just a normal alcohol hangover, as cocaethylene takes approximately 3 times longer for the body to eliminate the toxin, so it can last for 2 or 3 days after a session. Sleep deprivation causes cognitive dysfunction, impaired judgment, irritability, tremors, decreased accuracy, and slower reactions, as well as many other long-term negative health issues. Reduced appetite and lack of suitable nutrition can also affect erratic mood swings. Research in the US indicates that the combination of alcohol and cocaine could increase the risk of suicide by 16 times. As a response to Tom's death and some media reports of similar deaths in the area, this survey was done last year and shared it on social media based in South Wales area. It was responded to by 820 people, which means that at least that many people were affected by someone taking their life from this issue. As you can see, an overwhelming majority of the deaths discussed were male, 97%. 81% were aged between 19 to 34, 77% did not appear to have diagnosed mental health issues before they died, so would not have accessed support services. 88% said that there was not enough awareness about cocaethylene and the effects of drinking and taking cocaine together. Creating awareness. Some of the barriers to creating awareness have been when a death occurs that is not from a natural cause, it has to be investigated by a coroner to establish cause of death. There are many factors that are taken into consideration, particularly if the cause of death was sudden, violent, or unnatural, such as an accident or suicide. There have been found to be many inconsistencies in different geographic areas, such as toxicity screening, which has affected the results and data available for research. Because cocaine is illegal, it is difficult to regulate. For instance, amounts, quality, what it's been mixed with, and how much an individual uses. The media follows a strict code of ethics for reporting suicidal deaths, so publicly available information is difficult to obtain. There are a high amount of users who have not been in touch with any mental health services prior to them engaging in this scene. More UK research is needed, and we have now formed a task group to lobby and work with the Welsh Government and Swansea University to develop this further. This is Jacob, aged 24. Along with Thomas's parents, we have now joined forces with Jacob Abraham's family, who lost this son back in October 2015, aged just 24. This is a photo of Jacob running the Cardiff Half Marathon the weekend before he died. He had taken his own life during the days following a weekend binge out with his friends. Then 8 months later, his best friend Andrew took his own life. Both of them were healthy young men from loving families with jobs, partners, and looking forward to their futures. Like Tom, with no previous mental health issues. The Jacob Abraham Foundation was set up by Jacob's family in his memory and have been leading force in driving change attitudes towards preventing more suicides from this cause. Mythbusting. You can't get addicted? False. You can develop physical and mental dependence to either drug separately or taken together. Also, if a person enters into binge cycles with cocaine abuse, they are more likely to also suffer serious long-term health issues. I don't get as drunk when I take cocaine. This is false. Alcohol is a depressant and has the opposite effects to cocaine. When taken together, it actually doesn't cancel out the effects, it just masks them by feeling more alert and having increased energy. I can stop taking the coke whenever I want. While in theory that is true, unless you stop drinking alcohol as well, you will continue to battle with the lowered inhibitions you have from drinking and peer pressure. Relapses are common because of this, as in Tom's case, for example. I can keep drinking all night when I take coke. True. A number of studies suggest that the presence of cocaethylene may actually result in increased alcohol consumption, binging. Chronic binge drinking is associated with a number of issues, including liver damage, cardiovascular issues, nerve damage, alcohol poisoning, poor judgment, and a quicker development of severe alcohol dependence. I'm not a druggie, I only take it the odd weekend when I'm out with my mates. Even though you may not indulge during the week, the effects of cocaethylene will continue to remain in your system for many days and will continue to damage your health. Repeated weekend binging will increase the risk of fatal damage. I don't have mental health issues, so I don't need to access services. Feeling suicidal is a serious mental health issue, and you should seek help to support you through those difficult and scary times. Try and reach out to your mates or family, and many confidential and non-judgmental helplines are available to help you no matter what you've taken or done. You may not feel as if you have long-term issues with mental health, but dependence on substances significantly affects the worsening of paranoia, depression, anxiety, severe mood swings, and suicidal ideation. Surviving the Come Down. These come down information posters are available to download for free. Please share on your social media or friends, or you can print them on A4 and share these within your community to increase awareness about how to deal with it. If you have concerns that someone close to you is doing this and you would like to know how you can help, please get in touch. If you have experienced this yourself and would like to speak to someone confidentially, please get in touch with the Jacob Abraham Foundation. If you have not taken any cocaine during the lockdown due to restrictions in availability and are worried about when you go out and socialize again, please know there is help out there to support you, whatever you decide. The newly formed Co-alc Alliance aims to increase awareness about the dangers of mixing alcohol and cocaine and prevent further suicides from this profile. The C-Safe Signpost campaign is aimed at preventing suicide in young men, and leaflet poster packs are available by emailing callcsw@gmail.com. More information is regularly being added to the C-Safe Signpost website, which includes details of people and organizations who can offer support. If you know of anyone who has information that they'd like to confidentially share or can contribute to further research, please get in touch. We present some really difficult topics today. Please do not hesitate to reach out and talk to someone if you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Stay safe and remember, you don't have to face anything alone. Thank you.